All right, what's up, YouTube? So I definitely want to make a funny video on how to become a stock market guru, simply because from what I'm seeing in the market and what I'm seeing from YouTube is that a lot of people are making it seem easy for people to make $100, maybe $1,000 a day, and for you to be rich in about a year. So I definitely want to break down that whole standpoint and where they're basing that from. So the first part, when you want to become I would say a stock market guru, the first thing you need will probably be more than $10,000 to play around with, or maybe somewhere around I would say less than 10, maybe five-ish, and on the bigger side, probably about $20,000. Because what we see, what, I could just show you the results instead of actually talking about it. So we're definitely going to Google, and I'm going to screen share in just about a minute. So I'm going to show you a couple stock market gurus, and we're going to see exactly how much they started off with. And I'm definitely going to tell you, what enticed people to actually, go over to their side and, start to listen and, follow exactly what they're doing. Okay, let me see if I can screen share here. Oops. All right. Okay, so the first person we're going to look up is Timothy Sykes. And what we noticed from him is that, he says that his parents gave him a $10,000 loan, or it was a $10,000 bar mitzvah present. So we see right here, the story definitely varies from, the amount of money that he did start off with. So we see about $12,000 to $415 is what he started off with. Now, from his past videos, he said he started off with less than $12,000. Now, I think the story definitely has to vary. If you want to get that kind of, I would say, a market share where people actually listen and pay attention to you. So we definitely want to kind of lie about our story a little bit if we want to go that route and actually become a scammer. So let's just see what he has here on his profile. And also, guys, we cannot say this guy's a good trader because he lost his credibility on Wall Street, and he also lost his hedge fund. And a lot of people, they really don't pay attention to that. But we always have to pay attention to the background of the person, not just because they make maybe $500 to $1,000 a day. We have to remember, when you do work with bigger accounts, it's easier for you to make money when you play with stocks that have a lot of volatility and also volume. Now, I know when I first started watching his channel, he started to give away his strategies, and pretty much what he does is that he just buys I would say market breakouts, or the top winners as soon as the market opens. So we definitely don't want to do that unless we have some technicals in there. But typically, what he can do is that he can tell people that go ahead and buy this stock, and this and that. And also, we have to pay attention to his verified performance, because this is his website, so he can actually doctor it the way he likes, and he can I would say keep out the losing trades. But yeah, if we look up any other article, we know that he has lost his credibility on Wall Street and did lose his hedge fund, because he did lose a lot of money. Now he's known for taking riskier trades, and typically we do not want to do that. But his riskier trades have less risk to them, simply because when you do provide pump and dumps, and that is exactly what he's known for. Those are the stocks that that he's responsible for him buying stock and then telling his subscribers to buy a stock that that has a low float and that can run up over 20 to 40% in a day. That's typically what he's known for. And quote unquote, he sells early before everybody else sells. And you can already get the picture of what he's doing here. So we definitely want to be aware of that. And we also have to be aware of, the people that are learning from him and branching off from him that are, starting the same type of story. So we can look up Tim. If you want to look up more results on him, we can just look up Timothy Sykes on a more credible scale, we have to look up results that are not coming from his website. So Profitly is definitely his website. TimothySykes.com, as you obviously know, that is definitely his website. And yeah, just things like that, because he does have a lot of money. We can't be fooled. He does have a lot of money, but we want to make sure that we're paying attention to the actual credible articles that we need to read about him, because as you see right here, he is very famous for pump and dumps. He does have a large following, and I'm pretty sure you can pay Google for your results to pop up anytime somebody, actually Googles your name, right? So this is another way to actually bring up his credibility, because you do not see those articles about him losing his hedge fund or losing credibility on Wall Street. So I was hoping it was going to pop up on the first page, but as you see here, these are definitely paid I would say paid spots for him to actually, take up the first page of Google. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's great marketing. But at the same time, we want to pay attention to, who exactly we're following and trusting with our money to trade. So we see Tim Grittani. This is a student that actually branched off from Timothy Sykes, and exactly his story is probably just about the exactly same. Started with $10,000, but he'll tell you that he started with $1,500, and his parents gave him I think it was about an $8,000 loan, and somehow he's passed $2.7 million. We can just look at the website, but these dudes are simply just getting you to, as you see right here, $1,500. Like I said, if you look on the videos when he talks about when he talks to reporters, or when he talks to people that are interviewing him, he'll tell other people that he started off with $10,000. Now this $1,500 is definitely misleading, because it gives the I would say the viewpoint that you can actually become a millionaire starting from $1,500. And that's actually not true, because it takes a super long time to move $1,500 and turn it into $3,000. And we're definitely gonna get into people who are talking about turning $1,000 into $20,000 within a year. So we see $1,500 is definitely super hard, because if you want to become really risky, this is on the side where you don't have any risk, or I would say your risk is definitely elevated. And also when you elevate your risk, you're definitely elevating your reward. But like I said, these guys, they have a strong following, and what they do, they definitely pump up stocks like I have showed you. We can look at tops, we can look at dries, we can look at SPU. They all have the same pattern. And and I would say from those patterns, we know that it spikes in volume, and after that, it's dead. We have to pay attention to why it's spiking in volume, and I'm pretty sure you're going to see that they're placing that trade. I'm pretty sure you're going to see those tweets, or you're going to see a picture of that. Just place the trade here. I think it's going to go up, and that typically brings people to buy the stock. It's really good marketing, but also stock manipulation when you actually look up stock manipulation. So as you see here, he talks about turning 1,500 into 2.7 million. Definitely not true, because it definitely takes you longer than 4 years to actually move that money, especially if you're doing 100% per year. You'll be up 400%, but you won't be nowhere near 2.7 million. So this guy started off with $10,000, just like Timothy Sykes. And we're going to get into Ricky from Tech Solutions, and we're definitely going to talk about those people, because we have to be aware of the scammers and the people that mislead you to think that you're going to be rich in a short amount of time. But really what they're doing is they're getting you to bring volume to the stocks that that they're playing, so that way they can have an easy exit point for whenever you buy. There's always somebody to sell, so you're selling or you're buying whatever somebody's selling, and you can think about them actually selling once you start to buy. So let's look up Ricky from Tech Solutions, and let me see. And what I noticed is that this guy right here, he has. I guess not. Okay, we'll have to look on YouTube then. So, what I noticed is that this guy right here, he has like a side business where he actually sells, property and things like that. And we see Timothy Sykes putting out another video, penny stock financing and learning from the past, things like that. And if you look at his very first videos from Timothy Sykes, is that all he does is follow promoters, and you know he makes sure, or I would say this is where the promoter thing actually got pushed, because he brought promoters to light. He started to show exactly, you know, how to subscribe to promoters, you know, when to buy from promoters, and this definitely brought light on the penny stock market to make people think that, you know, they're actually going to become rich at some point in time. But typically what he was doing, like I said, is that, you know, after you come in and buy, he sells, and he leaves you holding the bag. He never talks about the students that actually lose money, but he always promotes those students that make over $1 million. I would say the success rate is super low, depending on how many, you know, we can look at that from how many quote unquote millionaire students he has versus how many students that actually sign up for the program, right? I asked him several questions before, and he definitely blocked me because, I was asking questions that he could not answer. So we have to be aware of that. So let's check out Ricky from Tech Solutions. Oh, right here. Trading fraternity seems pretty cool, but let's check out Ricky from Tech Solutions. All right, so we see 10,000 subscribers. What we notice here is that he's always taking pictures with money. So it's definitely going to get viewers to actually come in and view that video because they think, already this guy's rich. It's easy to make money in the stock market. And that's typically how these people market themselves. And typically what he does, he only trades ETFs, and he gets his group to buy. From what I'm seeing in the videos, he's definitely getting his group to buy ETFs. I'm not saying his group does move those ETFs, but I'm saying that he does trade ETFs with the group. Now, this $1,000 to $20,000 challenge, I ask him for his return percentage every single time. I say, Ricky, can you give me your return percentage for the year? Never answer my question. Can you give me a return percentage for the year? Never, I can't get an answer, but he can tell you that he's done 5%. But typically, what he did not tell you is that he was working with an account that was over $4,000 rather than an account that was at this $1,000 challenge. So we have to pay attention to guys that are lying about their results, lying about their percentage return in the market. He's definitely promoting Robinhood. I'm not saying he's getting sponsored, but he's definitely promoting Robinhood as his actual broker. Now, we see the weekly stock talks, just people just talking about stocks and things like that. But we have to be aware of people that actually talk about their money. We see $200, but they won't mention their percent return for the day, right? So we see 10% profit on NUGT, but we cannot get a year's return, percentage return from this guy. This is when it becomes very sketchy, because anytime you want to follow somebody, even Timothy Sykes had his percentage return. And, even though, that was kind of flawed, we definitely want to pay attention to, anybody that's telling you to buy stocks and can't produce their percentage return. Now, that's all I have for this guy right here so far. The only issue is that he can't provide his percentage return, and he can't actually, speak on the trades that he's making from this $1,000 to $20,000 challenge. So whenever he can actually screen share, or I would say screenshot his results and show the audience exactly what he's doing, is definitely going to be fabricated. It's definitely going to be all assumptions until he can actually prove that he's making, I would say $20,000 within a year. And it says turning $50,000 to nearly $200,000 in 1 year. We already know that's like what, a 400% increase on your money. And we can definitely watch the video, how to become a successful penny stock day trader. Typically what he does is follow stocks that are priced at about $1. $1 that gives a 10%, or I would say 10 cent return. So, easy 10%. And what he does, like I said, just like Timothy Sykes, just like Tim Tani, they buy the stock, promote it to their group. Once the group buys the stock, time to get out, and quote unquote easy returns made. And that's pretty much what you see for these guys, is that they're going to show their money. They're going to be flashy with their money, and they're definitely going to, show you that, it's easy, to actually make money in the stock market without, putting in any homework or doing any research. So, and also this guy does promote a lot of his crap, and typically all his crap that, that you do see is typically, on the internet for free. So $12,000 is definitely fabricated as well. We can look at Foods for Trading. Somewhat, I think that he's actually legit, Clay Trade is actually legit because they actually promote growth. But these guys, on the other hand, they're doing pump and dumps. They're promoting stocks to their group. They're saying, okay, buy when we buy, sell when we sell. And that's typically, you could easily move stocks like that, especially if they're low price and especially if you have a large following. So we can't, assume that, stocks are not going to run up just because, somebody's mentioned to the chat, or people usually say, oh man, well, just because he mentioned it to the chat doesn't mean, he's actually moving on stocks. Now we have to look at his following to understand why those stocks are moving. So let's just break down the portfolio like I always do. Like you see me, I sold my market strength for a gain of about 13 grand. And like I said, we're going to get bearish on the market because it does look like, we have hit a top here. So let's go ahead and break down the portfolio. Portfolio consists of Berkshire Hathaway. We see that we're down about $500 on a day. But remember, when you're working with bigger accounts, it's easier to make that money, especially if you're buying high price or low price stocks. That's one plus side to working with bigger accounts. Now, I could say, when you're working with bigger accounts, it's easier, to make $500, $700 a day relative to your account. But we want to see how much were you playing around with to make that $500 a day. Now, if you're saying you're making $500 a day with a $500 account, we definitely want to see some results because it seems like, you're doing 100% every single day. Let's actually produce some results. Let's actually see what the balance, you have that you're working with so that we can actually see, your actual percent return. So, that just, credibility that we have to see. We have to see some credibility, and we have to, request, some facts and some stats from these guys that people follow and they trust that, they're really good traders. So we see Berkshire Hathaway, like I said, long-term, Chesapeake long-term, bullish on oil. Barracuda Networks definitely took a dip around $19. We bought some. Ford Motors, like I said, still bullish on that trade. It was alerted by a subscriber, HIPH. This was a penny stock, and this was promoted, and I bought it on the day promoted. And as we see here, it still has not moved. It's a sub-zero play. We don't want to touch sub-zero plays, and we don't want to touch penny stocks unless they are actually presenting a trading opportunity for us. Honeywell, like I said, the tax reform is going to be a big thing if this can actually get through for this stock. So, I'm definitely stagnant on it right now. And, hopefully it does break below 129 so I can go ahead and start buying shares. And we have Lululemon here. Like I said, 54 is going to break out to 60. But right now we're at a consolidation stage where, it's kind of sideways trading. But we definitely did buy the stock when it was oversold. So we see PLX. This is just an experiment to see how far we can get when we invest in, penny stocks. And this is SPU. This is a pump and dump known for Tim Sykes group for pumping this thing up. When we wanted to see how far we can get, just by buying a pump and dump at a random price. We see we're up about $132 on it, and that's just putting about $800 on the stock. So like I said, when you're working with big accounts, it's easier to move that money. But if you're working with small accounts and you're putting your whole account in there, that's when it becomes too risky, and that's when you will see huge losses. So this might be another way how these guys are moving their account, but I really doubt it since they have accounts over $30,000, and it's really hard for you to move those things, especially when you're trying to get into penny stocks. This is typically why a lot of actual day traders don't touch penny stocks. They usually probably just short them. So UWT, excuse me, we see that oil is definitely down about 4%, or I'll say about 1%. This is leverage return. And what we see here, I said in my last video, the oil trend was held. And as we see, the oil trend has now broken through, or we can see that oil is getting to that oversold level. Now, when oil breaks out of that, or when it gets to that oversold level, this is definitely the time to buy more leverage. So we see what happened right here, a double bottom in the oversold chart right here for oil, made it spike up no matter, the rig counts here. But we see we got, I would say we got a good number on, the rig counts, or not the rig counts, but the inventories. And we still see the stock fall, or the commodity fall back now. Now, we see the selling is still not done. Chalk and Oscillator is definitely letting us know that. And the RSI is definitely letting us know that the buyers are definitely super weak right now. Daily moving average cost for the stock to be at 51. It's trading at 48. So we want to pay attention to the discounts there. So let's check out some oil stocks to see if they're becoming oversold. Chesapeake will definitely be an easy buy. Let's go ahead and put Chesapeake on our watch list. I'm gonna go ahead and put Chesapeake on my watch list because we love those high volatile trades, especially if they can give us a pretty good return over time. Even though the daily moving average for this thing is about what 573. If it breaks below this level right here, like it has done before, double bottom top right here, and if it breaks this level again, we go about $4.85. This is definitely a entry point. Or if it breaks below, I would say 420. This is definitely a possible entry point for anybody that are interested in playing Chesapeake for the long-term game, because we see that oil is definitely on a pattern to the downside. And like I said, if you want to invest, we look at the contract and then we make our decision based on where the contract lies, because we know if oil is down, we know oil producers are going to be down, right? So let's check out ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil, hopefully this thing does break $80. I've been really waiting for this thing to break $80. It's kind of irritating. $80 is definitely strong support for this thing. We can see APC. We can see APC. Oh, wow. Anadarko Petroleum. Definitely put that on your watch list. Let me go ahead and buy some shares right here. We're gonna initiate a live trade right now. We're gonna make a market. We're gonna buy about 300 shares right here. All right, so we definitely filled at 56.40, about 5 cents above where the stock is definitely trading at. But as we see this gap down, or this where the stock is trading at, is definitely super low. Let's check this out. We see that we have support right there, but we got to check out, like I said, we got to check out the contract. So we know the contract is definitely moving with gas, because it's petroleum. All right, so I definitely have to plot those support lines in there, so that way we can actually see this thing for what it is. So let's zoom out a little bit. All right, so this stock is definitely near a bottom here, and I might scoop up some shares tomorrow, so I'm definitely going to put this on my watch list as well. So we definitely have to watch out for stocks that are definitely oversold, that cause for bounces to happen. So let me go ahead and put that on my watch list as well. So we have Chesapeake, we have Anadarko Petroleum is definitely hitting that oversold level. So let me go ahead and alert my group chat as well. Okay. Anadarko Petroleum definitely oversold. This is definitely down about 5%. We need to know why. Okay, Anadarko says to shut down all vertical vehicle wheels. Okay. Okay, so now we're getting some insight. And this is typically, what you have to pay attention to. So we see Gush, we see Drip. So let's check that out. Gush. We see Gush is not oversold yet, but we do see oil and gas. This is very, very risky here, because it combines oil and gas returns from on a leverage play of 3 times return. We see the stock is down 10%, right? If we can catch this in an oversold level, we will see big gains, right? Because a lot of people, they're promoting, these crappy penny stocks. And, like I said, we have to pay attention to stocks that actually, provide big return for us. And this is definitely a stock that might provide a huge return. We see 55.34 is definitely a low here, or I would say a year ago support, definitely in August. So we definitely want to pay attention to that. We see recent support definitely held right here. And oh wow, we see from 56 all the way to $75. That is definitely an amazing return. We see oil is definitely getting weak. Now let's check out Drip as well, and we're definitely going to get into the contract. Drip is definitely up about, it's the inverse. Okay, I understand. All right, so let's check out natural gas. Natural gas is definitely getting really bullish for us right now, and we have to pay attention to the way that the stock moves, the way that the ETS moves. So we see oil is getting to that oversold level, and we have natural gas contract is getting to maybe an overbought level. Maybe there's an increase in buyers. So we have to pay attention to that, because when we do play Gush, that's definitely going to contribute to the gains and losses that we will see. So let's check out Domino's Pizza. I alerted you guys to buy at 175, 174. Like I said, we have to pay attention to that. And we have, the recent resistance level here. It was down on news that, that it was going to do bad. But as you see, our performance here, like I said, guys, I don't get you close. I get you close to the bottom. I don't get you to the exact bottom. And these are stocks you have to buy. Easy what? This is about an easy $12 a share right here. We have to pay attention to the alerts that I do give out because they are definitely super helpful. And if we could see Domino's Pizza break out from 192, this thing does go to $200. So like I said, it is a $200 stock to me. So it definitely trades at a $14 discount from where it's at now. But from the technicals right now, we have to back off of the trade because it's definitely nearing those overbought levels. So that's definitely another trade that we have to pay attention to. Now let's check out the XIV market strength. We see market strength is definitely increasing, but we know what? We see the market get to 21,000. 21,100 was the record high for the Dow Jones, but we did see S&P hit record highs, and we did see NASDAQ hit record highs. Now, with that being said, the market strength never hit 75.48, and that's the most important part right now. 75.48 is definitely representing the market strength, and if it cannot get there, we're looking a little toppish, and the market look like the market's looking like it's getting ready to come down. But until market strength can actually come back in the market, this is definitely a bearish trade that you want to get away from, and you want to definitely buy the T-VIX. We see buyers are definitely stepping up in the T-VIX. This $30 to 31, $30 to 31 type of support level here for the T-VIX. Daily moving average cost for this thing to get checked down or checked back up to $39, which implies another $8 of upside. So that implies another sell-off that we might have, or a slow sell-off that we might see. So with that being said, we see the technicals. I alert you guys every single time on what's happening in the market, or what we should be following, or the news that we should be filtering out. So let's go ahead, put those stocks on our watch list. We did buy shares in Anadarko Petroleum, and we might be looking to buy shares in Chesapeake Energy. Now these are plays that you have to hold for about maybe 4 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe even longer. But it depends on if you're happy with your results. If you're happy with your results, you can go ahead and sell. But me, I like to hold, just for that, eking out just a little bit more gains, especially when we're dealing with a long-term investment. I really love long-term investments, so I might go ahead and scoop up some shares in Anadarko Petroleum because I know, that sell is definitely overreacted. And as we see exactly why the stock fell, or, we definitely do research. I think Anadarko Petroleum is still trading. Oh, wow. This is crazy RSI levels, guys. Let's check out the trade here. We see the 56.09. So, we have to pay attention to that. Look, 56.09 was definitely the bottom here, and we still see sellers coming in. So hopefully this thing could be still on a downtrend here. And we see on the 1 year level. So, when it closes today and, the market opens tomorrow, I'm definitely going to make a video about me putting in my buy order for, for this stock. Like I said, I'm working with a $1,000 account. So I might get 4 shares here, might get 5. I really don't know yet, but this is definitely a long-term play. And daily moving average cost for the stock to be at $60. So that implies a $4 upside for the stock. So that'll be like what, $25. So let's say we buy 10 shares, and that'll be about what, $40, I think. So we have to pay attention to the way we have to pay attention to the way that we calculate our gains. We have to pay attention to see if that move is definitely going to be worth it. If the move is worth it, we go ahead and press that buy order. So that way, you guys can actually take some gains and start to invest. So UWTI, let's check out. We definitely have a new position here, Anadarko Petroleum. Definitely beautiful investment for us. So, like I said, oil and gas is definitely on a reset of the cycle. With that being said, let's watch some oil and gas producers, and let's pay attention to the oversold I would say the oversold stocks in the market. So we see that big tech companies are reporting tonight. If one misses, we might see a small sell-off, but that definitely does open opportunity for the XLK. So I really love the XLK. We see it just about super overbought. We back off of it because we know that if we buy at the top here, we definitely might get crushed in the stock. So we see Honeywell trading at 129.82. We back off of the stock because it's trading at an all-time high. Also, it's overbought. So we definitely want to wait till the stock comes down or near the daily moving average for us to go ahead and buy shares in a company. And that's typically how you evaluate a situation before you buy a stock. Starbucks definitely reports. We see buyers are definitely off of the chart. If Starbucks reports a bad quarter, we will get checked below this $59 daily moving average, and we will see a bottom right here, maybe at $55, or maybe we get support here at $57. But that's another way of looking at stocks. like I said, do your homework, understand the way that the charts are moving, understand the patterns, and make sure you're doing your research and filtering out the news that you do need. So with that being said, take care.